Hello and thank you for joining us on CoreTV News at 7. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. The Independent National Electoral Commission has confirmed a man of fire incident at the Independent National Electoral Commission's Electoral Institute in Abuja on Saturday night. The commission, however, added that the fire was swiftly contained and no harm whatsoever was done to electoral materials. Chief Press Secretary to the chairman of the commission, Kayode Idowu, confirmed the incident. He also said the fire didn't affect any electoral material. President Goodluck Jonathan has promised the women folk of a greater say in national issues if he gets a second term in office. He made the promise while felicitating with mothers on the occasion of World Mother's Day. The president also assured them that the federal government will continue to do all within its powers to further empower them to play their God-given role for the greater glory of the nation. President Jonathan, who attended a special service at the presidential villa to commemorate Mother's Day with his mother and First Lady, Patience Jonathan, prayed that God will bless all Nigerian mothers and reward them for their immense love and care. Ex-Governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, says the All Progressives Congress has strong evidence against President Goodluck Jonathan on his alleged plot to foist an interim government on Nigeria. He said the allegation made by the national leader of the APC, Bola Tinubu, that his life is being threatened confirms the desperation of the People's Democratic Party-led federal government and Jonathan. Fayemi, who was speaking in Aromoko, Ekiti on Saturday during the 40-day fidal for the late Jejelola Akingbolu and rally at Akingbolu, also lambasted Governor Ayodele Fayose for allegedly lying against the APC presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari over his health status. The ex-governor said Jonathan could not deny that he invited Tinubu to be part of the planned interim government, saying the APC leader made the allegation in good faith and not to discredit the president for or hit up the polity. Fayemi assured that Buhari will keep to his promises not to dig into the financial corruption perpetrated in the past under Jonathan, if that is what members of the ruling party are afraid of. Fayemi declared that the government of Jonathan will be held responsible if anything bad happens to Tinubu. The All Progressives Congress has accused the president, Goodluck Jonathan's government, of sponsoring ethnic militias to foment trouble before, during and after the forthcoming general elections. The party contends that 9 billion naira reportedly paid out to some ex-militant and ethnic militias recently is aimed at mobilizing them to scuttle the polls. This allegation is contained in a statement in Lagos on Sunday by its National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed. APC argued that the protests by members of the Movement for Actualization of Sovereign State of Biafra last week, seeking the sack of INEC chairman Atairu Jega, was orchestrated by the federal administration as part of its continuing efforts to sabotage the elections. The APC said the next group that had been mobilized to protest against Jega and the use of card readers is the Oodua People's Congress, which is also a beneficiary of the 9 billion naira payout, ostensibly for pipeline protection, but in reality to prepare the ethnic militias for their reprehensible role in scuttling the elections. APC alleged that more ethnic militias are to be enlisted by the Jonathan administration to continue the protest against Jega and the card readers, which is said is to give the impression that Nigerians want Jega sacked and were also against the use of card readers. The party expressed sadness that a president who inherited a united nation had done everything he could to divide the country along ethnic and religious lines, including allegedly patronizing ethnic militias to champion sectional interests at the expense of national unity. Former Aviation Minister Femi Fani-Kayode has slammed the All Progressives Congress for running a newspaper advertorial with what he described as renounced and outdated views about President Goodluck Jonathan. Fani-Kayode, who is now spokesman for the People's Democratic Party's presidential campaign, describes the action as a measure of desperation on the part of the opposition party. It said in a statement issued in Abuja that it was surprised that APC has resorted to buying full-page adverts of outdated quotes about President Goodluck Jonathan from old essays he wrote while he was in their ranks. The PDP campaign spokesman said he renounced those views about President Jonathan long ago and had since returned to the ruling party. He, however, reminded APC that one of its chieftains, Nasir El-Rufai, had once described General Buhari as outdated and unelectable, and that its national leader, Bola Tinubu, also once said Buhari was obsessed with power, wicked, sadistic and unreliable. Fani Kaide noted that, in spite of the advertorials, he would continue to focus attention on APC and its leaders. Elder Statesman Chief Edwin Clark has condemned politicians who are engaged in the act of buying and destroying permanent voter cards, PVCs, across the country. He expressed his displeasure when he received a group of artists under the aegis of World Igbo Entertainers Forum in Abuja. The artists had come to express their support for President Goodluck Jonathan's re-election bid, but it also provided Clark the opportunity to speak on issues relating to PVCs in the upcoming election.
People are watching all over the world. Nigeria will not remain as one after the 15th, after the 28th of March. That is not correct. Yes. Nigeria will remain as one country. We grow stronger. Whoever loses will be Nigerian. Whoever wins will be a Nigerian, no matter wherever you come from. The God of Nigeria did not say only one group of people to rule this country. He said, everybody. Today is my turn, tomorrow will be your turn. Yeah. If I'm doing it alone, one day I'll find myself, a coup will be staged against me because people are tired of me. So when people talk about the interim government, they are just lying. The president is not thinking of that. He wants to go away after 2019 and somebody else will take it over. That's how to be a Nigerian. Nobody has stayed there forever, whether the military or not. It's not Jonathan who is going to stay there forever. He stayed there as the constitution provides.
The All Progressives Congress in Ondo State has described the postponed general elections by INEC as a blessing in disguise. Speaking at a sensitization rally in Ikaram Akoko Northwest local government area of the state, the party says the card readers must be used as the APC will coast to victory at the forthcoming elections in Ondo State. Rashid has more.
Still drumming support for the Buhari Osinbajo candidature, the Ondo State APC subgroup Trust and Justice at a sensitization rally across some Akoko communities like Ibaram, Ikaram, Irusu and Ajawa Akoko says the party will give PDP run for its money come March 28.
Taking our campaign to the grassroots, here at the grassroots, because the grassroots, there are a lot of problems confronting the grassroots. You can see our roads, the condition of roads here are bad, and you can hear what people are chanting. People are chanting change all over. People are tired of the people deceiving people, which is PDP. For the past 6 years, we don't even see the dividend of the administration in this our community. Come March 28th, everybody is ready to march for Buhari.
Although the postponement of the general elections generated various reactions, however, APC House of Assembly candidate Sulaiman Jamil says it is a blessing for the APC.
It's a blessing in disguise for APC. If you notice what has been happening since the postponement, you discover the victory of APC in all the elections has been ordained by God. First, you see, after the postponement, we have the decampment of about 6 House of Rep from PDP to APC, the decampment of former governor of Anambra State, Timba Denuju, from PDP to APC, the decampment of some other notable politicians from PDP to APC in other states.
The group, however, warns against rigging in Ondo State as they strongly support the usage of the card reader.
We have grown enough to conduct free and fair elections in Nigeria. And one of the criteria is to use car reader. It has been tested, and of course, it has been generally accepted that they should use a car reader. What else? You know, when they first, made the proposal, they tabled it before the National Assembly, and then they all agreed. So he are paying to read now that they should use the car readers. And of course, bringing the car readers now, he now discovered that it won't allow rigging. It's going to check rigging. That is why they said they are not going to allow the car reader to be used.
Ondo State will no doubt be a political battleground between the APC and the PDP-controlled state government as the general election looms. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ikaramwa Koko.
You're watching the CoreTV News at 7. We'll take a break and we'll return with more reports. Please stay with us. From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a way, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
Many thanks for being there with us, and for more on CoreTV News, you can reach us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. And on YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space the news. Ayuba Waba of the Medical and Health Workers Union is the new president of Nigeria Labour Congress after winning a keenly contested election in Abuja. He beat his sole challenger, Joseph Ajaero of the National Union of Electricity Employees, with a margin of 495 votes to achieve the feat. The announcement comes almost 72 hours after Labour activists reconvened for a delegates conference that initially ended in chaos. But as correspondent Basiaya reports that the process did not end without incident.
As early as 8 a.m. on Thursday morning, the over 3,000 delegates to the reconvened conference had gathered at the Eagle Square. The delegates, drawn from over 40 affiliate unions, came with great expectations and eagerness to get the long overdue process over with.
You don't make one mistake twice, and I think the credentials committee we put in place after the botched election, like you said, has done a very good job to ensure that everybody at least accepts the outcome of today's election with a free mind.
Amidst overwhelming security, voting commenced at a few minutes past 5 p.m. and continued into the early hours of Friday, lasting for over 10 hours. Then came the sorting and counting process, which took almost another 24 hours, beginning on Friday morning and ending in the early hours of Saturday. But it was not all smooth sailing, as one of the agents representing Joe Ajaero tried without success to incite a reenactment of the chaotic scene witnessed the last time. Finally, it was time to announce the winners and the new NLC leadership.
Two contestants for the position were one, Ajaero Joseph. Ajaero Joseph scored 1,000, pardon me, those are total votes cast. 3,000. he scored 1,400 votes out of the 3,105 votes cast. The second contestant, Ayuba Wabba, he scored 1,695 votes, and he stands the winner of this election for this position of President of the Congress within the next term of 4 years, inshallah.
Then came the former president's valedictory speech, followed by the inaugural speech of the new president, who promised to work for the good of Nigerian workers.
Let me, before introducing you to the new president and his team, extend our very sincere gratitude to Nigerian workers and particularly the delegates. Let us also extend our gratitude to the law enforcement agencies that have rallied around us, supported us to ensure that this time around we got it right. And indeed we got it right. This is the only way Nigeria Labour Congress can now face the general election and the politicians to tell them that they must get it right, because we have been able to get it right. On behalf of myself and my outgoing Executive Council, I congratulate the newly elected executive, and it is my honor and pleasure to introduce to you the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress and his team. And the president is in the person of Comrade Ayuba Philibus Waba.
That whatever you are putting today shall not be in vain. Amen. It shall be the beginning of good things for Nigerian workers. Amen. It should be the beginning of progress. Amen. And together we'll be able to build a labor movement that is first of its kind in Africa and that can compete with all labor centers across the world. For us, we make this solemn commitment to the fact that the constitution of NLC shall be a whole, the principle of fairness, justice, and equity shall be a whole, and therefore we will subject also ourselves to the rule of law.
The eventful NLC delegates election has come and gone, and observers within and outside the labor movement will be waiting to see how the new leadership manages the fallouts of the 11th Delegates Conference. Basia Ye, CoreTV News, Abuja.
The PVC distribution, which has witnessed low turnout, making Ogun State the least out of the 36 states of the Federation, is one of the many challenges the state government and the state chapter of the electoral umpire is battling with. Although the INEC in the state says it is working to overcome the challenge, the resident electoral commissioner in the state, Sam Ibitoye, attributed this to the low percentage of eligible voters turnout. Olajumoke Olasiji took up a cross-section of the residents of Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, to affirm the electoral umpire's claim.
Though the electoral umpire INEC has said it has achieved 80% of PVC distributions nationwide, some states are still insisting that there is a low turnout of PVC distribution in their states respectively. And Ogun State is one of those states with 50.1% of this distribution as of 4 days ago. Even though the governor of the state, Nicola Amos, and some of the top political leaders in the state are not seeing this as encouraging enough, and the state's rec has attributed this low turnout to eligible voters not coming out to get their PVCs. I'm on the streets of Abeokuta to get reactions from this president on how true these affirmations are. With several complaints trailing the distribution of permanent voter cards in Ogun State, including the state governor, Ibikunle Amosun, as well as top political leaders from different parties, this is certainly not the best of times for the electorate, considering that the general elections is just 2 weeks away.
But as we speak today, the card they brought originally, and that is where the problem is. We have 2 or 3 issues now. The first one is that the card they brought, about 1.1 million in November. On my honor, about 600 of those cards doesn't belong to Ogun State.
In Ogun State, up until the time of postponement, there was only 40% distribution of PVCs. I mean, are we going to say that we're going to have a free and fair election where 60% of people who are willing to vote are disenfranchised? Are we going to have a lopsided distribution and then say that it is a free and fair election?
Despite the widespread dissatisfaction with the exercise, some residents were able to obtain theirs without delay.
I may not believe that INEC is trying to deny some members of that right. I think it still boils down to what I would call lapses from the end of the electoral body.
Very easy. Even they brought it for me.
Okay. But some people have been saying that Motor State has recorded a very low turnout of PVC collection.
They are lying.
I think I'm one of the lucky ones. I went there the first time. I saw my name and I picked it up. It was very easy for me.
It don't really stress me to get my PVC. I got it easily.
But this one say the stress involved has discouraged them from going back to their...
No. Actually, I've tried my best to get it from my, my ward. And it's very hard for me to get it. Whenever I go there, they tell me it's either they tell me it's not ready, or the number of people I eventually meet there will be very, very so many numbers I won't be able to wait again.
When I went there last week, they told me to come back on Friday. Next tomorrow. So I pray I will go back there and check.
Anyway, I have already tried to get my PVC for about 30 times now, 4 times that I went there. But I can't able to take my PVC.
I'll get. I go and get. I go tomorrow. I go and try them. I'll get.
I go last week Friday.
Last week Friday. When there's saving
I don't talk anytime.
So when there's and you are willing to go?
I know. But I go several times, I don't tire. I've already go there and tell me say I should come back. Say I never come out.
Are you sure you went?
Yeah.
So when did they ask you to come back?
They say maybe they no give me time, sir.
According to INEC, as of 9th of March 2015, over 425,000 PVCs are yet to be collected out of the registered voters of 1 million. INEC further said out of the 1 million meant for the state, total PVCs distributed stands at over 899,000. Meanwhile, percentage of collected PVCs based on the PVC received is 65%, while those yet to be collected based on eligibility is 50%. Olajumoke Olatuji, CoreTV News, Abeokuta.
We'll take another break and we'll return with a story from outside Nigeria. Please stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
14 people have been killed and more than 70 injured after 2 Taliban suicide bombers attacked churches in Pakistan, Lahore, sparking mob violence in which 2 other suspected militants died. Up to 4,000 Christians later took to the streets of the eastern city, many armed with clubs, as they smashed vehicles and attacked a city bus station in a rare show of anger by the beleaguered minority. Pakistan officials said the bombings occurred during prayers at 2 churches located around half a kilometer apart in the city's Yunahabad neighborhood that is home to more than 100,000 Christians. And that's it on the news for this hour. Join me again, 9:45 for the primetime news. Thank you for watching. I am April.